Dak Prescott, I love him to death. You know, I'm a Dak defender. He is my guy. I think he is a good quarterback. I believe that he has it in him to be a great quarterback, but he hasn't shown that. And it can't be just Cowboy fans or Dak fans going to bat for him and saying, he's a great quarterback. He has it in him. He can win a Super Bowl. Dak, you got to meet us halfway. You got to show us why that's true. And he didn't show me why that was true. And I don't have an excuse for what I saw from him. That was a terrible performance. And there's not an excuse that I can make to defend that.
That was flames coming out of the mouth of Ashley Nicole.
It pained me to say that, Michael. It hurt my heart to say that.
I am athlete. Hello, new job alert, new gig alert, new year, new things. Congratulations. It's good to have you. Thanks for still blessing the show. And Britt Johnson, it's so good to see you as well. Thank you for taking the time. First of all, let me say this to both of you ladies, my two favorite Cowboys fans. I am not trolling you guys. I did not. I did not bring y'all on to troll. That's not. I don't roll like that. I got too much respect for y'all anyway. I'm positive, but I felt like I was missing something this week because I was like, I need to hear from them because we, at the beginning of the year, remember, Britt, I wrote them off. You tried to set me straight. I didn't listen. Ashley, you ride or die, and then we kind of checked in as the year was going on. They were doing well. Well, after Sunday, I was like, well, wait a second. Like, I need to hear from Ashley and Britt. So, Britt, I'd love to start with you because you and I met this summer at training camp and at the Cowboys media party at Nobu. So kind of another full circle moment is this tweet put out by the Cowboys official social media account that was critical of Dak. I actually found it refreshing as opposed to out of pocket by the team-owned account. You having previously been employed by the team, I want to know your take on this.
Okay, so this tweet wasn't just a tweet all in and of itself. It was part of an article. So I think the key here is don't read just the headline. Click on the article, which that's what I did. I clicked on the article, and I think it was really what Dak was saying about himself. When he went to the podium after the game, he blamed it 100% on himself. He went through both interceptions and kind of talked about it and what that meant and how he messed up and took 100% accountability for it. And what the good thing about the Dallas Cowboys were actually the first team to cover themselves. They were the first team to have their own media group, have a website, start covering themselves. And the Cowboys do it better than anybody else. They spend a lot of money on having a lot of talent that comes in there. And their job is to give their opinion. And their job is to be critical of the team, whether the team likes it or not. And it does, unfortunately, and unlike other media groups, it does suck because then you have to go to the lunchroom and see the players and the coaches that you just wrote or talked about on a podcast. But the Cowboys have been known for doing this throughout the year. Yes, this one was a polarizing one because, everybody's looking to the Cowboys Twitter page after the loss, even though it wasn't not a successful season. We did end the season 12-5. We did make it to the divisional round. So the season was a success considering we had missed our quarterback, which we talked about earlier in the year, and he won 4 of those 5 games with the backup quarterback. So I think we did have a successful year. And I think it's just one of those things. Don't just click on the headline, read the article. I know Patrick Walker, who wrote the article, and he is going to say it like it is. And the truth is, Dak had 2 interceptions, did not play the greatest. The week prior, played a heck of a game, one of his best games of his career, especially in the postseason. And this week it was unfortunate, and he didn't play like he was supposed to play. So it is what it is. Yeah. The Cowboys media isn't going to just lie and just have all these stars going around. We're just great and beautiful when that wasn't the case.
No, that's why I thought it was refreshing. And Ashley, your old Miami Heat family even got in on the act after last night's game with a little troll job of themselves on their Twitter account. But, Ashley, we heard from you a second ago on I Am Athlete Tonight. It just sounds like for you, as much as you appreciate and respect Dak, this is all fair game at this point. Like, it's Dak's kind of brought this on himself with his performance.
Yeah, listen, I made no secret. I love Dak as a player. I'm lucky to also call him a friend. So it's not ever coming from a place of malice, but you have to call a spade. And we have seen spurts of the greatness that Dak Prescott possesses as an athlete, as a quarterback. So I'm not going to say it doesn't exist. So when people say that, I think that's very far-fetched because if it didn't exist, you would never see it. It wouldn't just come sporadically. It would be completely absent from his game. But the the critique of him is not can he do it, is when is he able to do it? And that's hasn't been when you need it the most. Yes, Tampa Bay was an impressive game. As Britt said, one of the best of his career, especially in the postseason. But let's go ahead and look at that for what it was. As impressive as that game was for the Dallas Cowboys as a whole team, you're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who this season have not been very good. This is a shell of what they were when they won the Super Bowl. And yes, Tom Brady, you can never discount him. A GOAT is a GOAT is a GOAT. But even Brady doesn't really look like himself. So while it was impressive, it wasn't overly impressive enough to go into this game thinking that you couldn't or you didn't have to play at that same level or even better with the 49ers. And I think Dak sometimes does not go ahead and do the extra things that some of those elite quarterbacks do. You look at Patrick Mahomes, for example. You'll see Patrick Mahomes go above the X's and O's. He'll go above what the play was that was being called because he knows, listen, I need to make something happen. I need to make it happen now. And that moment in the last 3 minutes of the game when it was 19-12 and the Cowboys have the ball, that was Dak's moment to drive his team down the field and show I'm an elite quarterback just like those guys, and you're going to put some respect on my name. And he can do it. It's just he didn't do it in that game. He didn't do it when it meant the most, and that's the critique. Yes, I get it. The interceptions, they're on me. Yes, the game is on me, but we've heard that before. How are you going to correct that is what everybody's waiting to see.
So, and we've seen this movie before. We've seen it really for the last 30 years, as you guys don't need to be reminded. So with the 2 minutes we got left before we run
28.
Yeah, put some respect on it. 1995 champs, damn it.
Britt, how have you processed it, and quickly, where do the Cowboys go from here to get over that hump?
Cowboys need to change the offensive coordinator. That's what I'm going to say. It needs to be a different person in Dak Prescott's ear. We had a lot of issues with our offensive line changing this year. Tony Pollard getting hurt at that game was huge, and I think we need to get some wide receivers. Jalen Tolbert didn't do it for us. James Washington was out. Michael Gallup didn't play like he was supposed to. We need to get a young receiver in that's going to kill it. The next Jamar Chase, please, somebody. And we need Kellen Moore out. I like Kellen Moore. I think he's great, but I just think someone else needs to be in Dak's ear.
Absolutely.
And Ashley, seems like that's spot on for you. You agree with that? Overhaul of supporting cast around that?
I think the relation. I mean, Dak was going to suffer when you traded away Amari Cooper, and you didn't replace him with somebody else, right? So you need to give him another offensive weapon. Ezekiel Elliott's not the same Ezekiel Elliott he was years ago. Tony Pollard, yes, you have that, but your game is going to have to become more pass reliant than run reliant like it has been in the past. And you're going to need more offensive weapons to make that happen. But Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott, that relationship is no longer working out, and they just need to get a divorce at this point.
All I know is that last play was just such a microcosm of where the Cowboys are and how far they have to go. There ain't no way in hell they practiced that. Speaking of coordination, they didn't practice it against a defense that was resisting. I'm sorry.
Right.
I cannot get that imagery out of my head.
The team, too. Just got knocked out with the quickness.
But no,
well, in true Cowboys fashion, Michael, as Cowboy fans are used to saying, we'll get them next year.
Well, I'll see y'all again soon. It's good to see y'all smiling through it all. Y'all are ride or die.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.